Okay, welcome to the Pinball series. I'm remaking it because Scratch has changed from Scratch 2 to Scratch 3. If you like using Scratch 2, you can use the old videos. This is for the new Scratch 3. And so let's get started. I'm not going to follow a worksheet this time. I'm just going to do it as I like to do it in the order I want to do it. So it's not going to be exactly the same as the other videos, but I think it'll work just as good. Okay, so we're going to be making a pinball game, and so let's start making it. This is our stage right here. I know it looks like my video, but this is where we're actually going to be doing everything. Yours is going to have a white background. Mine's going to have me, so I can have the video just behind everything, and then I won't have a box down at the bottom of the screen blocking a button or something. So I'll just kind of be embedded in the game in itself. So anyway, to start out, we're going to get rid of the cat. Okay, so you get rid of the cat by hitting the trash can. And we're going to pick a ball instead. So we're going to pick a ball that already exists. In the old worksheet, we made the ball, but this time we're just going to use one that already exists. So we're going to choose a ball right here. This one changes colors, or you can choose something else. Make sure it's perfectly round. Button could work. It's not. Oh, you could have the earth. Again, you could repaint whatever you choose. So if you choose something you don't like the way it looks, that's fine. You can change how it looks. We will change it just slightly, just so we can watch it better. So go to after you pick your round object, we're going to go to costumes. It's on the tabs, and I want you to draw just a little dot or a arrow on the right side, kind of like 3 o'clock right there. Okay, and then we are going to go back out to the code. Now it has a little dot. So what that dot will do is help us know which way the ball is facing according to the program. Okay, so let's start doing some stuff. We're going to go all the way to the top here. Let's drag out a couple of these blocks. And the blocks, if you click on them without dragging it, each time you click on it, it moves. It'll do exactly what it says. So 10 steps is almost like 10 pixels in a way, but not quite. And then 15 is actual degrees. Turn it. You could try trying some things here. So let's see, point in direction 90. There's all sorts of things. Point towards mouse. My mouse is down here, so it just points towards wherever my mouse is, which is kind of interesting. So if I have it up here, it'll point towards. So you can kind of play with some of these things and see what they do. You kind of look through them and see what's available. If you don't understand it yet, that's fine, but just to kind of know where they are is a good idea. All right, so let's get started here. Let's make this thing move continuously. Instead of clicking this, over and over again, we're going to use some actual programming. We're going to use when the flag is clicked, and we're going to also use a forever block here. So everything that's inside the forever block will just continually happen over and over again. And so if we say move 10 steps, it will move 10 steps forever if we click the flag, and boom. So it'll get trapped in the corner though. So that's kind of the problem that we're going to have. And let's fix it. So if I hit go and I keep clicking this, I can keep clicking on it and it'll go like that. Or I can make it so a button can do it. So let's do that. We say if, and let's go down to sensing. If, and this senses everything, the mouse, the keyboard. You can even use the microphone and detect how loud you are. And you can make something, jump if you scream at the computer or something. So you can get kind of crazy with this stuff. What we're going to do is put in the key. Now we're not going to use space. You could change that, and there's a ton of choices here. we're going to use the right arrow because it's turning to the right, and we'll do that. Now, if I use the right arrow on my screen, it goes, but it only turns right. So what would you do to make it turn left? So if you want to try it on your own, pause the video, but I'm just going to go ahead and do it. Right click and duplicate is how I do it. You could have gone through and got all the pieces out again, but this is like the quick, easy way. We're going to change the right to the left, and I'm going to replace this one. So I do have to still grab something with the one going the other way. But no, copy paste does help minimize your time going around finding all the blocks. So now when we hit play, you can go both ways, right and left. Okay. If yours doesn't work, you probably picked the wrong arrow. Okay. All right, let's continue on. Let's look at how fast it's going. So if I change this to 5 and look at it, now it's going a lot slower. Or if we change it to even 1, then it's really going to go slow, super slow, okay? But I want to use my arrow keys to do that. So there is a slightly different way of doing that. So let me show you that one. We're still going to use the if, so we're going to duplicate that and up arrow, okay? But how do we change this? We can't really change move. There's no change move command. So what we're going to do is we're going to create what we call a variable, and variables are very useful. And so we're going to create one, and we like to make them make sense. So we'll call it speed. Okay. Nope. We'll say for this sprite only. That makes it so that only this one can see speed and the other ones ignore it. If I want to put speed in another one, then so it makes it so that if we have more than one thing that needs a speed command, we can still use it for other things if we do it like this. Okay, for all sprites, if I change the speed, it would change the speed of all of them at the same time. If I do it like this, then it will only do the one that I want at that particular moment in time. Okay, so let's do this. Now, once we make the speed, you have it right here. And if you double click on it, you get a slider. Okay, so let's play the game here. And where am I? Whoa, let me, it's changing the speed. All right, ball speed 40. That doesn't work. Why isn't it changing? It's still 1. Well, that's because we need to put speed right there. Whoa, now it's fast. Okay, so now it's going super fast. Okay, when you put speed here, it basically copy pastes this number in its place. Okay, that's the purpose of the variables. You can use a word to represent a number, and then you can change that number instead of having to constantly go into the code and typing it in every time you want to change it. And you can also use some math. Okay, so for the math, let's do some stuff here. Basically, you could just say, hey, change or set, nope, we're going to change it. We're going to change speed by 1 every time the up arrow is pressed. And if I copy paste that and duplicate it, make sure you're down below it, say the down arrow will make it -1. Okay, so a little bit of math, not hard math, but let's find the ball. It's somewhere in here. If we hit play, there we go. Now we can go forward and backwards. So using the math, you can do all sorts of fun stuff, and that's why we made that dot on it, so we could see which way it was going and which way it was facing. Okay, otherwise it'd be kind of hard to know what was going on. All right, anyway, so there we go. We now have control over the ball, speed, and everything. but it just gets trapped. And in a pinball game, you want the ball to just bounce off the edges. So we're going to make it do that next. And that's one of the easiest ones to do. Come all the way up to motion. You can scroll or you can click on it. Click on motion, and down towards the bottom of the blue section, there's a if on edge bounce, and I like to put it about right there. So what'll happen is it'll just bounce off of the edges, and there you go. Okay, now there is a problem though with the bounce command. It only works going forward. Going backwards, it still gets stuck. So we're gonna have to give it a rule to not go less than 0. If we go negative, then we're gonna have a problem. So we're gonna say, if we want to stop the ball, that's fine, but we never want to go in reverse. Okay, so we're going to pause it, and we're going to create another control block here. We're controlling the ball. And we're going to give it a rule. We're going to give it like a thing here. Now notice how I'm not putting it below it, I'm putting it inside. So we have an if inside of an if, and it just keeps expanding out to fit. They just open up to fit whatever code you put inside. All right, so now we need to use a little more math. We're going to use what we call an operator, and these are like your greater than, less than, plus, minus, times, all your math stuff, which is kind of cool. So we're going to give it an end equation, and basically what we want to tell it is if we go less than 0, then just force it to be 0. All right, so less than, let's use the less than. Speed, let's find the variable speed and put it in there. So if speed is less than 0, then we're going to set, not my variable, see this is where you're going to get in trouble. You might forget to change these, so just make sure you change them. Set the speed to 0. So let's try it out. Let's play the game, and we can go forward and speed up, but we can't go in reverse anymore. All right, so your reverse has been eliminated by that line of code. But I also want you to create a speed limit. You need to decide how fast can your ball go. And right now you might think it can go super fast, but my recommendation is not more than 25. And we're going to do the same type of thing, but you're going to notice one slight change. Okay, I'm going to put speed on the other side, so now it's greater than. If it gets greater than 25, then we're going to set it back down to 25. So no matter what we do, if we hit play, we cannot go above 25 and we cannot go below 0. And we're now slowly creating rules and regulations for our world, our universe of pinball. In the future, we'll define what gravity does to the ball, all sorts of fun stuff with math. And you'll get to see why we use math. It's fun. Okay, now a couple more things and then we'll be done with this one. I want you to be able to trace where your ball goes. And in order to do that, you're going to have to add an extension. I already added the video sensing, which makes it so I can put my video right here. And then what you need to add, if you want to add video, you can, but add the pen. What the pen does is it gives you all these ones right here, and you can put the pen down, which basically drags the pen and makes a line. You can draw and do all sorts of fun stuff. Okay, I can come in and give myself a mustache if I wanted. Okay, so all right. So if you want to stop drawing, you say pen up and then erase all. If you just hit erase all while the pen is down, it'll just keep drawing. So don't forget to put the pen back up before you erase to get rid of your lines if you want to get rid of it. And that is, one of the last things. The ultra last thing is basically don't forget to save. Okay, right here is where you give it a name it. You could use this name if you want. You put your name in there too to make it more specific to you. And go to File and say Save. Okay. Once you hit Save, it'll save it. So now I can leave this website and it'll remember. Okay. If I go to File and I say Save as Copy, then it'll ask me to it'll give it a copy, so you can actually give it another name and make it different. So now I have two of the exact same thing. But what I would do is after I make the copy, I'm now going to change it to Pinball 2 of 7. So when I start the next video, um, it'll be a completely different, it'll be a new thing. So I'm going to have a saved Pinball project file for every single video after I finish. So if I make a mistake, I can go back to the previous video and start over from that point again. Okay, and if you do the same thing, that would be wise. All right. Um, the other thing is save to your computer. So if you want to download this from the internet down to your computer, that's another thing you can do to be extra safe. And we'll have Scratch 3 on the computers. So if the internet goes down, you can always work on it off the internet. And if you make changes and you want to put it back on the internet, you then would load it from your computer back into the internet. So then you can go home and work on it. There's all sorts of reasons for each one of these. Okay, so just know what they do and why you need to use each one, and use the ones that you feel comfortable using and that you want to use. Okay, so that's the end of the video, and then we'll start lesson 2 in the next video.